Ayotte serves on the Armed Services Committee, and she joins you. Nice to see you, Senator.
Nice to see you, Greta.
Senator, do you get wind of these releases before they happen, or do you hear about it after they're finished, they're complete?
Well, this one we wouldn't have gotten any word of because he was released out of a supermax in Colorado. And so we did not get word of this. And I'm very glad that Duncan Hunter is asking questions. I do think we need more details about this because the timing of this is very suspicious. But we do have to take it back to the Taliban 5 transfer. So now you have a situation where we transfer those 5 dangerous members of the Taliban.
Transfer or release?
Release, essentially, Greta, because they're in Qatar now, but they're scheduled to go back to Afghanistan. And that's the real worry that so many of us have had. And the issue really is that what's the price being put on American lives, number one? We now are going to have a pattern where people are being asked to be traded. You have ISIS also saying for certain individuals, we want terrorists released in exchange for some of the prisoners we have. And so it gets us down this slippery slope. And Qatar, of course, in the middle of this, Qatar is where the Taliban 5 were transferred to, and where from there they will be returning to Afghanistan.
You know, I guess that, I suppose the president, the head of the executive branch, has authority to do this, but for some reason I find it appalling that there isn't more discussion or dialogue about it. There's not a heads up to at least the leadership or someone in the House and the Senate. I mean, shouldn't there be some heads up on some of this?
Well, on Guantanamo, they are notifying, leadership, but the notifications, I think, are inadequate. One of the things that I've included in legislation that I've introduced to stop these transfers, for example, of the high-risk detainees, is to say there should be more information given to the American people, because these are dangerous individuals being released, as you say, back to foreign countries. And we have the same situation here. Right now on the Taliban 5 situation, you have a report sitting on the Secretary of the Army's desk about what happened there, what were the circumstances surrounding it. That hasn't been released yet. More information, I think, is very important, not only to Congress, but to the American people.
Is Yemen imploding on us? The president said a few months ago that things looked at least better there. Now he's calling it dangerous.
It's actually unbelievable, because in September he cited Yemen as a success when he was talking about our strategy against ISIS. And now, of course, Yemen is imploding. I mean, the government has fallen apart. We had recently a major suicide bombing with over 50 people killed. Just in the last 3 months of last year, there were over 149 al-Qaeda attacks. The place is a mess. And let's not forget, recently the administration released 4 Gitmo detainees to Oman. They're Yemenis, which neighbors Yemen, of course. So with no release them there, with, as far as we can tell, with no conditions that they couldn't return to Yemen.
And of course, a sign today that the embassy has shut down its public.
Yes, very troubling.
So if the embassy is pretty much shut down, there's really a problem there.
Yes.
Senator, always
Thanks,
nice to
Greta.
see you.
Great.